Oh Stray, the game where you play as a cat trying to be free. Free on PlayStation Plus and an adorable game. It's really easy, and today we're just gonna go through the story. So you spawn in as a cat, wherever this is, and then you go to sleep. So then you spawn in, it's daytime, and then you get the normal tutorial, but then the meow button. The meow button is very overlooked, and Sony definitely could have, just not did the button, but they did, and it seems that they took a lot of time and effort to do it, so props to them. But not long after, tragedy strikes. So he basically fell, and now he's about to just walk it off, but we don't know where to go because, we're in like the sewer, so we have to try to find a way to go. Anywhere's better than here, right? So we got out of the sewer, and then we found the Zucks. The Zucks are gonna try to kill us, so we're gonna run away. So we got to safety, and then now there's a TV telling us to go right. So then we do. So we go where the TV tells us to go, and then we step on the keyboard and then do whatever this is, I guess. So then we open a secret room and then pick up a body, or like a drone, I guess. And then we put it on this thing, and then the computer is actually a person that's been stuck in the internet for thousands of years. So he's our friend now, so he sticks with us for the rest of the game. So then he gave us a backpack and some keys, and then he tells us to get out of here. So then B12 finds a postcard and starts remembering stuff, and then he says we're going in the right direction. So then we get chased by a few Zucks and then make it into town, just like in the trailer. So then we go to the village guardian, and then he says, you're welcome in our village as long as you don't eat anybody. And then he tells us about somebody who also wants to get out, so he might know something. So Momo is the guy that knows stuff about getting out. His friends did, but he didn't. So then we leave and then go to his friend's house to get their postcards, and then he can put the pieces of the puzzle together. So then we get him all his friends' notebooks, and then he decides to fix it. So then he tells us to put the transceiver at the tallest tower so then he can get reception. So then we get up to the tower and put the transceiver on the antenna. And then we go back down to Momo. So then we talk to Zabalazar and the connection cuts. So then Doc's son hears the conversation and gets mad. His father went off to test a device to kill the Zucks years ago but never came back. So then we go into his house and then show him the papers, and then he gets interested again and tries helping us. And then we find a secret room. So then we find a broken tracker in his secret room and then give it to him, and then he thinks we can reverse engineer it, but first we have to fix it. So then we give it to this guy and then he fixes it. Now that it's fixed, we gave it back to him and then we found a ping. So his father is outside the village, stuck, so we need to try to rescue him. So then we find his father, and then he says, we don't have enough power, so then you need to start the generator again, so then we do. So then he mounts it onto the drone, so now we can kill Zucks. Then we bring him back to the village, and then they hug. So then we leave for the sewers with Momo to try to get out. So not long after, we reach a wall, and it's a manual wall, so he can't go with us. So then he tells us to go along, and then we go. So then not long after, the diffuser breaks because he used way too much battery, which he's not supposed to do, but then again, he did save the cat, so he's all good. So then they eventually find Gibraltar's place, or whatever that guy's name was, the guy that Momo was talking to earlier. And then the robot finds out he was actually human, so then he goes into a mental breakdown and doesn't want to talk for a little bit. So they find Gibraltar and then talk for a little bit, and then they eventually leave for Midtown. Midtown is just up, so then they need to climb the tree and then take a few sewers to get up to Midtown. But before he left, Gibraltar gave the cat a note, so then the other person that was trying to get out, she's in Midtown, she would recognize the cat and help him. The cat finds Clementine, and then they talk about a plan. The plan is to get a battery from one of the major supply companies. We have to steal the battery, but first we need to get inside. She has a contact inside, but first we need to get him worker clothes so he can do what we want. So then we get the jacket, then we get the hat. So then we give it to the contact, and then we get inside. So then we go back to her apartment and we don't find her. But then we find notes that say she's at the nightclub, so then we go. So then we go to the nightclub. So then we wake up in prison. Then we get Clementine out of prison. Then we get B12 out of prison. And then we're all back together. And then we get out of prison. So then we put in the battery. Then we go. Then we're at the control room. But then we can't get in. So then we try a different door. But then we get in. Then B12 tells us to turn on all of the computers, so we do. Then we have to destroy the mainframe. So then the city is opened. So yeah, that's a very sad ending, but it was also good. If they make a second game, I will definitely play it. Like, subscribe, goodbye.